Hello guys, Michaela here, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another speed build. We have a Tuesday video, which it's been a while since I've done two full-length videos a week, but I've been having a bit more time with Christmas holidays, and now I'm at home because I don't have that many exams and I do have work, but I also like to unwind with The Sims in the evening. So I have quite a bit of builds kind of backlogged, and so I will be able to share 2 builds a week for a while. We'll see how long it kind of stays that way. I'd like to keep it up for as long as I possibly can, which I might actually be, because my semester, which is supposed to start like mid-February, it looks like I'm gonna have only like classes only for 2 or 3 days a week. I mean, I obviously have to study for my finals, I have to finish my thesis, but I'm also going to have time to build because I'm going to be home, not going to be traveling around that much, so that's very exciting. So hopefully I'll be able to keep up the 2 build per week schedule, because I've been loving building so much lately. I've had so many ideas, I don't know where to put them in my schedule. I don't know, I'm just very much into building these days, and having more time, having more videos means that I can do more builds, because obviously if I didn't, I would have built till the end of the summer with this pace that I'm going at. Today I am building in the world of Tomarang, and I'm building 2 townhouses that have 4 apartments total. So I decided to build like tiny apartments. So they're very small. I imagine the rent would be quite low. The building itself costs for 94,944 simoleons, and it's built on a 20 by 20 lot, which again I don't know the name of because I placed a different lot here. I initially started working on this somewhere else, so I'm not sure what the name of the lot I placed it on is, but it's one of the smaller lots by whatever, a river or a sea. So I had this vision of building tiny apartments, because I think usually when we see what we see are like quite big apartments, and I wanted to build something tiny. So these apartments are very, very small. They can usually fit 2 Sims. Although there might be some routing issues that I don't know about because I don't playtest my builds. So yeah, 1 Sim for sure, maybe 2 Sims somewhere. I also used this debug item, which came with the pack, to create like a barbecue, kind of like a shared space for all of the tenants of this. There's also a small pool, some sunbeds, so your Sims have a place to rest, hang out, and just enjoy some fun. And the color palette that I went for, because I wanted to go colorful, because I had a vision, okay? I wanted to have the town as colorful, and initially I wanted to pair them with like a wood tone, but I ended up going for black, and honestly I absolutely love how it turned out. I talked about it in my Fridays video, which was the shell challenge that I did for Simmery's shell, and I talked about being kind of obsessed with lighter wood tones these days, but here I went full black. And I absolutely love how that turned out. Some of the doors and windows have these like golden details on them that just really nicely complement with this like colorful but sort of elegant vibe that I tried to go for. But I don't know, I'm just very happy about how these turned out, and I think they fit absolutely perfectly into this world, with it being like very vibrant and tropical world, which is inspired by, I think, like Southeast Asia. So I was very excited that I managed to pull off something colorful like this. I was kind of inspired for the colors with the, I don't know how to call these, like those roofing pieces that you put on a wall over like windows and such that came with the pack, because I wanted to use those. So I chose the colors based on those, so that's why I ended up going for yellow and green. I think the yellow wallpaper is actually a wallpaper from Eco Lifestyle, while the green one is a base game one, I think. because the yellow was quite quick, but I struggled a little bit with finding the right tone of green that would look good with the roofing piece. I also managed to use a bit more of the landscaping that came with the forehand pack, which obviously is not like normal landscaping, but it's like debug landscaping. But I had more space than in my first build with the pack. So I managed to fit a bit more in each, or like on the lot than in the last one, and I really like, especially like this like very like down to the ground palm tree. I really like that. Talking about, like, speaking about the lighter color palettes, I still went for a lighter color scheme on the inside, so I used light wood floor and light walls. So even though outside they're very colorful and quite dark with the black, inside they're not as dark. Maybe some of them with the color palette, but I'm not sure. I think here I struggled a little bit with figuring out the right color scheme. And I think I ended up going for something a bit more colorful and light, but I'm not sure because I have, like, there are 4 apartments that are very similar. So I am not sure what I ended up going with. I usually base the color scheme on the carton that we got with the pack. So I chose a curtain and then I based the color scheme off of that with like the wood tone that you see on the top of the curtain, as well as the pattern on the curtain itself. So yeah, so here I think I ended up going for this like reddish wood tone, and I think it looked really nice because you could see the layout is usually the same for those apartments. I'm just using like different styles a little bit so that it like makes a match. It's not all similar. And here, because the curtain is like blue and yellow, I decided to use these counters and cabinets, not just counters from Home Chef Hustle, which I paired with cabinets from the For Rent pack to kind of tie it together with the wood tone, and I think it looks very, very nice. I also made a little living room, which is very small, very cramped, but you know, it gets the job done. And I also placed a table with 2 seats, and I think a dresser in the hallway kind of space. I talked about it in my previous videos. I don't usually playtest builds because for me it's very overwhelming, it's a lot, and I don't really like doing it. So I'm not sure if everything in these apartments is actually going to work, if your Sims will be able to get where they need to go, but you can just test that and move things around a little bit if it doesn't work for you. I think everything should be functional, but I could be wrong. Just like from my own opinion. Obviously, sometimes the routing doesn't really make any sense, to be honest. Here I am cluttering the kitchen. I'm still keeping the kind of like this reddish wood tone going with the items. I also absolutely love this shelving unit that we got with this For Rent pack. I wish we got some of the plants on it separately, especially the hanging one. I think that's like the thing that I'm very much missing from like plants perspective. A plant that kind of hangs over that you can place somewhere, so that we could put it on like shelves or tables and it would like hang over. I think we got like an item which is like a debug from Snowy Escape, which is like a big bush that does hang over, which is very good for landscaping like rock formations if you decide to build with them, but they're not obviously great for interiors because they don't really have a pot. But I would love that in the future, like a potted plant that hangs over whatever we place it on. That would be very cool. Here is the bathroom. I think this is the only one I show because I kind of copied and pasted this bathroom everywhere else. The bathroom that is like mirrored on the other side is a little bit different because of the layout and because the shower kind of turns around a little bit, but I use the same items, so it's not that big a deal. Here I am working on the next door apartment, and this one I decided to go for light wood with red kind of color palettes, because that's again the colors that you can see on the curtains. So this one is a lot more modern. I feel like the next one is kind of like a mix between traditional and modern. This one is a lot more modern. So I used, again, a combination of Home Chef Hustle counters with cabinets from For Rent. I used a table from For Rent, but I used chairs from Eco Lifestyle. And I was going for a bit more of a modern look here. I am not sure how the bedroom turns out for this. I know I made one bedroom which has 2 single beds, but I feel like that's downstairs. So here we should get a normal bed. Yeah. So here we have the TV here on this stand that we got with Cool Kitchen, I think. So the layout of the living room is a little bit different because I wanted to use a bigger sofa, which wouldn't be possible if I use the same layout as I did next door. I used a couch from Eco Lifestyle and a rug, I'm not sure. Base Game? No. This one, so Dream Home Decorator, I believe. Yes. I also placed a dresser here to make sure that your Sims can change when they come home. I think I used this one from Growing Together, I want to say. And I also made sure to place a bigger table here so there is not anything in the entrance, because, you know, obviously you get the N. I also realized, like, when I was, I think, furnishing the next apartment, I realized I did not place a fridge up here. So I do place it, but I'm not sure where. But there is a fridge, I promise. I just completely forgot about it when I was first furnishing this. Here we're working on the bedroom. I used this bed from Dream Home Decorator. Again, placed many plants, and I love this apartment. As I said, I like this because it has the light color palette, and I love light wood these days. So I used bedside tables from Nook, and I also placed the candle making station here because I imagine that maybe the sim that lives here is really into like crafting and stuff. So yeah, I kind of had the vision. Oh, I show the bathroom next door as well, because as I said, the layout is a little bit different because of the shower placement. So you have things shuffled around a little bit. They're not exactly the same as next door, but I think I copied the bathrooms downstairs in the end. And now we move on to the... Oh, okay, sorry, I was mixed up. So the apartments that we did were downstairs. Now we moved on to the upstairs. So here I am using this very colorful swatch of the curtains, and this one is a lot more traditional. So I used both counters and cabinets from the Home Chef Hustle kit. Oh yeah, okay. As I squeezed the fridge there next to the door, and I was going for like a mix of maybe renovated appliances, because you can see I used the appliances that came with Home Chef Hustle, but I think the kind of spirit of the unit is much more traditional. So I even used the more traditional chairs. I think, I'm not sure which couch I use here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I know that I wanted to use this, which came with My Wedding Stories, but I was trying this one from Get Together, but I ended up with this, I guess. And I'm not sure where I placed the TV. Okay, so I did it, it looks like I did it the same way as I did it downstairs. So the TV is also by the fridge here, but I placed an older TV. So I imagine maybe an older couple was living up here, which doesn't really make any sense. I could have probably place their apartments downstairs now that I think about it, but oh well, it happened. I mean, it doesn't really matter in The Sims, I think. Or do Sims get tired like quicker when they're older? I have no clue. I haven't done gameplay in, I want to say, years. So I have no idea if they do actually get tired quicker, like in real life. Anyway, we're cluttering. I'm sorry, my English is just not working today. I'm misspelling words. Never mind. I am cluttering up the kitchen with kind of like a mixture of modern and more toned down, more traditional furniture. But I don't know, I love the combo of light wood and white wool. I don't know what it is about that color palette that I love so much these days, but I just love this kind of brownish tone. I haven't really used the colors from the curtains that much, so it's much more about the brown rather than the colors, but I think I'm fine with that. Maybe the cow sorry, maybe the yeah, maybe the curtains are just like a highlight. And okay, so this is actually the apartment where I placed two single beds. I imagined, so not an old couple living here, clearly. But I mean, to be honest, maybe some people sleep in separate beds. My grandparents, for example, they did sleep in separate beds because they just liked their own space. So maybe it could be an old couple, but it could also be maybe like friends that purchased this apartment, and because they did not have a lot of money, a lot of the things that they have in here are just like hand-me-down furniture, so that's why it's more traditional, because that's the things that people throw out more often. I also made sure to place some skill building items, so I placed a piano here, so maybe one of them is I don't know, a pianist or a musician. Yeah, and clearly I showed other bathrooms as well. It's been a while since I've edited these videos, so I thought I usually don't show all of the bathrooms, but because I changed the color palettes here and there, I felt like I did probably. I felt like it was important. Here I copied it, so you can just see how I changed the swatches. And here I think I ended up going for the same kind of motif, but different color palette. Yeah, so it's like dark wood and this purplish peachy color. I was trying to go for counters that would be purple, but I did not find any. So I think I ended up going for these from the Jungle Adventure pack. I'm sorry, I've done a one voiceover before this, and my brain is just not braining anymore, as apparently. Yeah, so I'm going for this darker brown swatch, and I also use this stone wallpaper that came with Island Living. This apartment, I imagine, would be for like a young couple, maybe, because it's very colorful and it's very youthful. So I think they're like maybe in their late teens, they moved out of their house and they decided to live together on their own. So you have some of the stuff that came with the high school years back, so the couch, the chairs, the light, some of the carpets, rugs. And I imagine that maybe it's like their first apartment. So it's furnished pretty nicely, so maybe their parents kind of pitched in, gave them some money to be able to have their own apartment, because they maybe like moved for like a job or a college, I don't know. So yeah, they have their own little apartment. So I think this is the only, well, I use downstairs the Home Hustle counters, here the Jungle Adventure, and next door the 4 ones. So I kind of didn't imagine that the owner of this house would go for like similar looking kitchens, but the layout is usually the same. But so I imagine that the units were empty before the people that live here now moved in. And now we are working on the last room of the house, which is the bedroom. I used this bed from Seasons and other clutter pieces from other packs to give it like a youthful look, because of my idea of who could be living here. And yeah, that's almost it for today's video. If you want to download this build, you can get it on the gallery. My ID is michaelasimsyt, or you can try the hashtag michaelasimsyt instead. You can also get this on my Ko-fi page, so you can get the tray files if you prefer to get the build in your game that way. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you would not miss any of my future uploads. Next video is on Friday. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!